Y'all, nothing is funny right now. Why the fuck did my credit score just go down? I was damn near at 700. 700, y'all. Why the fuck did my shit just go down like 57 points? All because of these student loans. Mind you, I'm still in college, by the way. I'm still in college. And my credit score just dropped 53 points. I have never seen such a dramatic drop. And it's because they want you to pay back your student loans.
All right, let's talk about student loans because apparently Sally Mae woke up and chose violence. So here's the deal. Millions of borrowers just watched their credit scores plummet harder than my Wi-Fi during a Zoom interview. We're talking triple-digit drops. Imagine logging into Credit Karma and it looks like your GPA freshman year. Yeah, that bad. Why? Because after years of a pandemic pause, the grace period is over. Student loan payments are back, and lenders are reporting missed payments to the credit bureaus like snitches with clipboards. And the punishment? Higher interest rates, lower credit limits, and dreams of buying a home that now look more like renting your cousin's basement indefinitely. Here's the human side. These aren't reckless spenders blowing money on jet skis and avocado toast. These are teachers, nurses, first-gen grads, folks who bet on education to climb the ladder, only to find the ladders missing a few rungs and maybe also on fire. The transformative side is this isn't just about money. It's about access, opportunity, and dignity. A low credit score doesn't just block you from a mortgage. It can keep you from getting a job, starting a business, or even qualifying for the good credit card with airline miles instead of the one that gives you 0.5% cash back if you sneeze twice. And here's the kicker. These delinquencies stick around for 7 years. 7 years! That's longer than some marriages.
Man, you hit me where it hurt. Like, why would you do that? I'm already going through a tough time. Like, why did you feel the need to say, okay, she's delinquent? Okay, let's go ahead and hit her in the pocket. Let's get the credit score. I'm already fucked up. 75. Y'all, my credit score is 591. I can freaking cry because I've been working so hard on my credit. I got 2 cars in the past year, so you know my credit score had got knocked down. But I wasn't tripping. I'm like, I can pay that. I can do this. I can blah, 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 blah. Bitch. My honey say, bitch, I got one better. Boop. Shut me all the way down. Like, what the fuck would you do? 75 points, yo. Who do I need to talk to? I need to defer him again. I don't.
If you have a student loan, your credit score could have dropped by as much as 150 points and you may not know it yet. I've been helping people fix their credit and manage their debt for over 10 years, and this is the worst hit I've seen. And it is wrecking credit. The government just restarted collections on missed student loan payments.
Well. If it isn't the bridge I said I'll cross when I get there.
Over 2 million people dropped 100 points, and over 1 million more dropped 150 points. Why? After 90 days, your accounts go delinquent, and it's reported to all 3 credit bureaus. This can ruin your chances of renting, getting a car loan, or getting good credit card rates. Pull your reports now, it might have already hit you. Comment student if you want my help assessing the damage or to get my free credit repair guide. Link in bio.
That's my thing. This is the American dream. They want you to go to school. They want you to get an education. You get the education. You get penalized for getting an education. Guys, I'm still trying to get a good offer. Heavy on the good for my postgrad. And I'm stressed out about that. And then you come with this bullshit. I have to eventually start looking at apartments. 53 fucking points. 53 fucking points.
Go ahead and drop my credit score 75 pounds. You know I'm living. And you want to know who did it? Them old crust-ass student loans. God damn it, Mohila, you got
This is a PSA for everybody who has not been paying back their student loans. Maybe like me, I don't know, in the last year or two. My credit score just went down 184 points. What are we doing? What the fuck do I do now?
Millions of people just saw their credit score drop because they haven't paid their student loans. Over 2 million people just saw their credit score drop by 100 points. An additional
75. Ain't nobody gonna want to touch me. Ain't nobody gonna want to touch me. Like, I'm untouchable. And not in a good way. Like, 75 points, 591. And that's only on my Credit Karma. I don't even know what the real shit is. You know Credit Karma be lying. What Peach say? I gotta get my house in order. I gotta get my finance in order. Cause this is not freaking right. I'm just I'm too livid. Y'all check y'all credit reports now. They coming for your pockets. They coming and they ain't letting up and they don't give a damn. I gotta go sit on the phone with these motherfuckers this morning.
Student loans are currently kicking America's ass because of everything that's happening. But here's some interesting news. If you have student loans that are being serviced by Mohila is currently being investigated by several attorney generals from different states. Now,
1 million people just saw their credit score drop by 150 points because they haven't paid their student loans. Boy, this government is not playing at all. And I know what some people might think, oh, that's good for them. That's what they get. They should just go ahead and pay it. But to literally tank your credit score is wild. I see some people just like, fuck it. Fuck the credit score, fuck the student loan. I don't know about that. I can't fuck up my credit score like that. Going from a 700 credit score to a 600 credit score because of your student loan sounds crazy. That is crazy as hell. You just went from being able to get a decent car loan to being approved at 20% interest rate. Some of these drops are as bad as bankruptcies. Boy, I'm so glad I paid my shit. That shit sounds scary as hell. But I see some people just like, man, I can't even pay it. I can't make an extra $200 payment per month. I just can't do it. So just know, if you ain't looked at them student loans, they ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere.
according to this article, the investigation actually began 2 years ago in 2023 because Mohila had constant errors on everyone's or almost everyone's student loans. And if you're wondering what type of errors were they doing on those student loans, basic administrative tasks such as calculating monthly payments, billing customers, and processing paperwork. And sometimes those errors ended up hurting your credit. And the part about it is that if they messed up on your credit, it was very, very slow to actually fix it, costing you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to be able to borrow for a new car, for a new house, to whatever you might try to use your credit for. As of January, Mohila was handling over 6.8 million federal student loans, and state attorney generals now from Washington, New York, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Illinois, Massachusetts, and the District of Columbia are filing a civil investigation demand seeking information from Mohila according to different sources. Do you think that they should forgive the student loans if you were part of those errors? Let me know in the comments.
So did you guys see that creator who shared a story time about how her credit dropped 173 points? And it was all because of her student loans.
I was curious what was happening with that student loan situation, that on May 5th, student loans after 5 years since COVID, people are going to be put, sent to collections if they don't start paying as of May 5th. Well, here's an update to that. So here's what the Associated Press is saying is that millions of Americans have already seen their credit scores be downgraded because of their default in their loan status. Wage garnishments will start at the end of this summer. They said 90 days after May 5th is when that'll officially start, which looks to be the first week of August. So that's coming. There's already been reports of people on social media saying that their tax refund is being withheld because of this. So what if, hypothetically, with the crazy success of the No Kings protest, what if we were able to get 1 million student loan borrowers together to start contacting these agencies that have been defunded, staff have been cut, and are currently strained for resources because of our current dictator? What if we were able to overwhelm these systems? Would we be able to delay them from reporting student loan borrowers to collections. Could that be done? Could we do that?
8 million Americans just woke up with a tanked credit score because of student loans.
Her credit went from 717 to 544. And when this happened, she had just been approved to buy a house and had an offer on the table. So I learned a few things listening to her story. First, her loans were not in default, not yet, but they were delinquent. But this drop in her credit occurred swiftly, and it occurred with a 30, 60, and 90-day late on her credit report. She found a way to remove these derogatory remarks off her credit report. So I'm going to tag her so that if this has happened to you, at least you have some information to go on. She's very detailed. But of course, this sent me down a rabbit hole. So let me share with you what I learned from her story. So apparently starting May the 5th, the Department of Education will start resuming collections on federal student loans. And y'all, pay attention to the wording. It's defaulted federal loans, which means you only go into default if you have not paid your student loan for 270 days. Now, once it goes into default, that's when they can start doing all kind of nasty things, starting with wage garnishments. They can garnish up to 15% of your wages. They can also take 100% of your federal tax refund. So if you're expecting money back and you owe a student loan and it's in default, they can take that too. Now get this, I did not know that your Social Security benefits can be offset from a student loan, 15%. Now the first $750 is exempt, but after that, yeah, they can tap into your Social Security benefits, y'all. So if you were a parent and you were helping your kids go to college and you took out one of those Parent Plus loans in your name, yes, they can come back and collect on that if it's in default and take it out of your Social Security. The best thing you can do right now before May 5th is get into one of those income-driven repayment plans, a forbearance, loan rehabilitation. Get into something that is going to protect you from all of these nasty things that are coming down the pipe. Because times are hard enough, y'all. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore the inevitable, because this shit's getting wild. All right, love y'all. Bye.
If you have a student loan, you might want to check. Even if you think it was forgiven, there are errors now being reported to the credit bureaus that you still owe the debt. But you really don't. They're just mistakes. This is why it's so important that you have a real credit monitoring system set up, not Credit Karma, something that actually shows you the details. Because right now there are people whose credit scores just tanked, and especially if you're trying to buy a house right now and you're under contract, you might want to go check your credit report. So if you are one of those people, first, you want to go to your studentloan.gov, figure it out. There are solutions. There's, repayment plans you can get into. Mistakes can be fixed on a credit report. It does take some time. You write letters and all of that. But this is just a, FYI. If you have seen your credit score drop and you have student loans, that's probably why.
Hey y'all, it's the Relatable Auntie, and I am back for part 2 in between my meetings. But I'm so happy you ain't crashed out. But let me tell you something. That's why I needed to include all the details, because I was right there with y'all. The part that clicked for me was when I called my broker and he got back with me and he told me, unfortunately, we're going to have to take a pause on, the home buying process, because he was too nervous that when we got to closing on a property that I had bidded on, that the deal was going to fall apart. So like I said, my heart went to my asshole. I cut that location off. Baby, I was contemplating on jumping off the bridge. I literally hit my lowest, because when I made a video a few weeks ago, when I said me praying for strength didn't mean that God was about to humble me. This was me getting humbled. I've never seen the 5s in my life. You know what I mean? And for I'm getting ready to be 30, people in they later 20s or whatever, your credit score is so freaking pivotal. You can't get a car, you can't get a home, you can't do anything. So I just want y'all to know, it's going to be okay. Your life is not over. And in that moment, I totally felt like my life was over, but I'm better now. So back into the story. So I went ahead and I submitted the disputes online myself going through the direct credit bureau system. I don't know about y'all, and if y'all student loans are broken up into like 15 fucking student loans instead of just one big thing, let me know in a comment. But anyways, I had to individually submit for each of those little student loans. So I'm talking about going to each of the 3 boroughs and submitting like 15 fucking line items individually. I was copying and pasting and I was doing all of the same thing. Initially, I thought like writing in the comments that, oh, I wasn't given a sufficient notice. I thought that was going to get everything like taken care of. But this is the thing, like more so on the notice, because I was just reading some more recent comments. So their means of communication was, one, an email, which I'm getting ready to insert. And then, yes, they did call or whatever on the 800 number, but who the fuck answers like 800 numbers nowadays? And then typically, you know, you could get like a 30, a 60, then a 90-day delinquent mark. But a lot of them did not give the 30 and a 60-day notice. It was just like, boom, a 90-day delinquency. So I pretty much summed all of that stuff up in a passage that I was talking about. But the thing is, after doing research, there is a certain way like things have to get inputted in the system so that they can actually recognize the violation that you're putting it under. So they don't even read that passage. It is literally based on the selections, which leads me to my next point. I would highly recommend that you guys call. So after I submitted it, of course that wasn't good enough because it was a freaking waiting game for me. So I ended up calling after I submitted it, and after I did like more research, I would say probably about 2 days later, I start calling all of them individually. The good thing about calling and letting like the actual advisors with the credit bureau submit them for you, they can do like one submission versus you doing it yourself and you having to go in and submit in like fucking 20 buyer individually. So when I called them back or whatever, the reason that I gave them, I said I already submitted a dispute, but I would like to update the reason because I was not confident when I was selecting from the bulleted list like on the websites. And then once I found that the thing that I type up really don't matter because it depends on like their code system. I don't know what the exact code is. It's just the way that it's inputted. So, and then the second one is a 15 USC and 1681 violation. Okay, so the 15 USC and 1681, that's part of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Basically, that protects you as the consumer for making sure that everything that is reported on your credit report is accurate. It protects you from them sharing your information because your payment history, that's something that typically should not be shared with anyone. And it basically focuses on ensuring fair and accurate credit reporting practices. So under FERPA and under that act, that's what you need to tell them. I do not recommend you submitting it online yourself. I did see some people that actually submitted it online themselves and it worked out for them, but I feel like you leave a lot on the table or there is like room for self-error because you know, we're not tax experts. We don't know like exactly which bullet point, like it was just a guessing game based on like which thing kind of related to my situation the best. So call them. Calling is also a whole nother thing. Because it was not just like a simple call because right now a lot of people are going through this. So you do have to kind of be like strategic of like how you call. I felt like I got answered faster when I called like afternoon just because, you know, a lot of people waking up and they want to get the shit taken care of. So they call in the morning. So I wasn't real successful. When I called, you know how people just be hitting 0 or something like that. A lot of times you can try to do that and it'll like disconnect. But if you listen to like the prompts, I pretty much like got connected because I chose something on the lines of like fraud or identity theft or something to get a representative on the phone. So that's what I did. Okay. And for me, I did not submit any additional documentation at all. They do give you that option online if you're going to submit it yourself, but I did not submit anything. It literally was just me telling them a FERPA violation and telling them the violation of the 15 USC and 1681. Okay, so quick recap if you still here. I found out my credit score dropped 173 points. I then called my lender to let them know what was going on so I could be transparent because I was in a home buying process. After that, I called NailNet and I dragged their ass from the east side to the west side of Detroit. That still did not happen. I then went online. I submitted the disputes myself, I do not recommend you submit it yourself just to eliminate you having to submit the disputes again. So do not do that part. Call them directly. I also submitted a complaint to the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Even if they don't side with you, I still say light nail that ass up and I would report them because this is absolutely crazy. I would inconvenience them the way they inconvenience you. And if you truly did not get any type of communication or documentation or anything like that, I definitely would report them. This part also, like once I actually talked to a representative, this part gave me peace. And that's why I'm telling y'all, like, don't panic, be okay. So of course, after I did all of that, I'm still just a nervous wreck and I'm still just like super scared. So everyone I called, I said, you know, this is a big thing that's going on. I'm like, I know you guys are getting a lot of calls. I'm like, have you seen success with people submitting it under FERPA and with under the 15 USC 1681? And every time I asked each credit bureau that question, what gave me peace is they told me probably 8 out of 10 people that have called, 8 out of 10 people, this has worked out for them. When I tell you, I'm thinking like, it's no fucking way I'm going to be the 8 out of 10. It's no way that's going to happen to me because I feel like I always get the short end of the stick. I got the middle child syndrome, all of that craziness or whatever. But it worked. I'm about to come back for another part 3 because my 1030 is about to happen. See y'all in the next video.
But let's keep it real. The American dream isn't dead. It's just on layaway. People are resilient. They're budgeting, side hustling, and finding ways to rebuild. Credit scores can recover, and so can futures. So here's a takeaway. If you're a borrower struggling right now, you're not alone. You're not broken, and your worth is way bigger than a 3-digit number on Experian. But also, maybe don't ignore those payment reminders. Because, unfortunately, the credit bureaus, they've got the memory of an elephant and the heart of a parking meter.